Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Taking a look at a couple of knives here from Iconic, new for 2024. Of course, we saw the Chavez design here a while back, the RCK9. Well, now we've got the Fairwind from HEA Designs, and we have the Dromus that comes from Brian Brown Knives. Again, I really like the way that Iconic is pairing up with these these prominent designers that, for the most part, produce pretty high end. And when I talk high end, we talk higher priced knives. But Iconic is kind of bringing these guys together and bringing something in the more budget realm. Now, comments that I've gotten previously, people still think it's a little high for D2 knives. And you know what? You're probably right for materials. Again, all I can say is, yeah, if you really like these designers, this is probably the best way you're going to get into one of their designs without spending a lot of money. So, I guess it's a little bit of give and take if you're really into it or not. That is completely up to you. But I really appreciate Iconic giving me the opportunity to at least show you what they have to offer. The first one we're going to look at is this little guy. This is the Fairwind. Now, as I said, this is a collaboration with HEA. There you go. You can see it right there. HEA Designs. You've got the milled G10, which you've got some texturing going on there that gives you a really nice grip. My thumb doesn't skip along there too much. Open design. A little bit of letterboxing going on with those liners. Do have a lanyard hole. Recessed pocket clip. Now, it is a loop over clip. It's not completely, we do have a little bit that's going to stick out of our pocket. So it's not necessarily super deep carry. It tries, but, it's close. Now, I'm going to say it. Come on, guys. We need those recessed pocket clip screws. Just makes things a little bit cleaner. Gives you a little bit more clearance on that pocket clip. That's just a thing of mine. I just, aesthetically, it just looks better. It just does. But overall, the construction seems to be really well done. Centering on this knife is great. No issues there. Again, everything's chamfered off. Good fit and finish. Not too mad at that at all. Now, you got dual thumb stud. I am not reverse flicking this knife. Not even remotely. Ooh, that's a dropper. Jumps out there on that thumb stud very nicely. The drop, as you can see, shake. Got a great initial drop. Running on bearings, of course. A little shimmy, and it's shut. But this one happens to be the PVD coated D2 blade. Now, it does come in 3 colors. You've got the black, of course. You have orange. And you have kind of that steely blue, bluish gray. And you got either satin or the PVD coated blades. But overall, dig the blade style. Sort of a, kind of almost a straight back. It's got a little bit of drop to it. But dang near a straight back. So let's see where this little guy registers as far as specs, overall size, and so forth. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right about 6.5. You're looking at about a 3 3/4 inch handle. 2 3/4 inch blade. Pretty much going to have a full cutting edge on that. And then your grip length, you don't have a flipper tab to kind of cut off your grip. So you're looking at about 3 1/4, maybe just a little more, which is pretty darn close to right in that wheelhouse for me. Love the way it feels in hand. Absolutely. And then, of course, we'll show you a couple of size comparisons. Let's get the bug out because that's going to be closer. Probably have to zoom out just a little bit. There you go. That's a little bit better. But overall, as you can see, the bug out is a larger knife. And that means our PM2 is going to be quite a bit bigger. Of course. As expected. As expected. Get a weight on this little guy. I say little because, it's a sub 7-inch knife. So, 91 grams. Not bad. and 3.2 ounces is what it rolls in at. And of course, we will get our, like I said, you're going to have a little bit sticking out there. Nothing too terrible. Definitely not quite that ½ inch that we see on a lot. Put it in the 5th pocket. Again, this 5th pocket does kind of angle off, so not necessarily the best for 5th pocket knives. And as you can see, you've got a little bit of, you're not fully buried in there. It's got good retention. The clip's got really good retention. And speaking of the clip, those clips are always my biggest concern, is how they're going to feel in hand. And this one, yeah, I can feel it a little bit, but other than that, no issue whatsoever. We dive down. You know, I did kind of nitpick on those screws, but it didn't affect our pocket or anything, how it goes in and out of the pocket. No issues there. You know, overall, this is a pretty nice little knife. You guys know I gravitate towards a smaller size, but choil is pretty good. Our thumb studs, yeah, they're in that cutting path a little bit. They are. It does have really good access to the liner lock. That's not even an issue. Very nicely done. I guess probably lanyard fans will be happy. Lefty fans, maybe not so much. The diehard sharpeners, you know, that might make them a little unhappy. But those of you that like a good access to the liner lock, which of course I do, as long as I can actuate it without much problem, I don't get into it too much. But other than that, really a pretty nice little knife. Fairwind. Now these come in about 74 bucks. So, you know, it goes back into, it's G10, D2. Yeah, I get it. Honestly. I probably won't find an HEA knife, designed a knife for that price much anywhere else. But then, of course, we have this guy. This is the Dromus. This is their collaboration with Brian Brown Knives. As I said, this is going to be a little bit larger. A little bit larger knife. But again, you know, not quite, I mean, you got a little bit of letterboxing going on. Do have a backspacer going on here with your lanyard hole. Again, lefties, sorry, it is a right-hand tip-up carry only without recessed screws. So I think we've seen a pattern there. Again, though, your overall fit and finish done very well. Centering, pretty darn good. Now, this has a single mode of deployment as well. Flipper tab. Detent, a little bit on the lighter side. Nothing too terrible. Let me see here. I mean, it pretty much opens without any hesitation. And this one, that one drops. Bearings, the action on this one, very, very nice. Now, you've got the D2 blade again. G10, D2. Brian Brown's logo. Again, these come in a couple different color options. You got black, you got the steel blue, and you have micarta. But it comes in machine G10 or raw canvas micarta. So a little bit more option there. And then, of course, it does come in the satin or the DLC-coated D2 blade as well. I like that blade. A little bit more of a drop going on there. It's a little bit more polish. It's got a nice polish on it. There's the vent. Do like that blade for sure. Overall design, nice, slim and slender handle. Feels very good in hand. No, I'm having no issue with that clip, you know. No issue whatsoever. So again, we'll jump in there, do your size comparisons. Like I said, this one's a little bit larger. So this one's going to be just a little bit bigger than our bug out. More on the lines, overall length with the PM2. But the PM2 is going to have it by just a bit. Yeah, about 1/4 inch on the blade, about that on the handle as well. And then give you a quick comparison with the Fairwind. So there you go. You get an idea of the size difference between the two of those. get a weight on this one as well. Ounces. So a little bit larger, a little bit heavier. Makes complete sense. About a half an ounce. 104 grams. And our pocket. Again, it's a loop over, but it's not deep carry. This one's a little bit tighter to go in the pocket. There you go. You can see you've got a little bit sticking out. Definitely not putting this one in the fifth pocket. Our pocket clip is slightly tighter on this one. It's got good retention for sure. Gives a nice in and out of the pocket. Overall on this one. Now I really like the slender handle on this one. This one is obviously a little bit longer. Didn't even tell you that, did I? I should probably do that. So this one you're looking closer to 8 inches. I'm getting about 7 3/4. 4.5 inch handle. It's going to give you about a 3 1/4 inch blade. Full cutting edge. Once again, you're not losing anything. This one obviously has the flipper, so you're not worried about, you know, the thumb studs being in your cutting path. And this one, now with the slenderness of the handle, you don't have the cutout like you do, but you do have the jimping on the liner lock, which again, very easy to manipulate. No issue. I don't have to dig my finger. Just swipe it across, and it comes out very well. No issues whatsoever there. Fit and finish, like I said, pretty darn good. This one feels really good in hand. I'm really not feeling the clip at all, and that is a concern a lot of times because it's a pretty wide clip for this slender handle. Always that concerns me, but not an issue. Not an issue for me anyway. In this handle at all. It dives down quick. It doesn't have a huge turn, you know, ramp on it. I mean, it's got a decent ramp on it, don't get me wrong, but not enough to affect my grip at all. Feels really, really good in hand. And again, you've got the texturing going on. There you go. You got that texturing going on, which really gives you a good grip. So overall, you know, I don't know. I usually gravitate towards the smaller knives, but the Dromus might be the one that I'm digging a little bit more in this case. For whatever reason, well, I know it's got a little bit longer cutting edge, so that benefits me when I'm at work for sure. That aspect of it is a much better performer at work for me. That little bit of extra blade length does help when I'm cutting some of those larger diameter ropes for sure. So it could be. And like I said, I'm not feeling the clip on the Dromus as much as I feel it on the Fairwind. And honestly, I don't feel it on the Fairwind a whole lot to begin with. But just some things I point out, what I feel, what I see. And overall, I think Iconic's got themselves a couple of really good designs here. Of course, like I said, the Fairwind there on top, design collaboration with HEA, and then the Dromus, a collaboration with Brian Brown Knives. Again, I have to say thank you to Iconic for sending these out and letting me take a look at them, get a feel for them, and pass along my thoughts to you guys. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by today and checking them out with me as well. As always, guys, thank you so very much. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Bye-bye.